think it's gonna.
Yeah. Are we started?
Yeah. Hello. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Ooh, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Which one am I?
My little voice there?
Which one is me? Hello. 1.
Hi. What is
Number 3.
Am I number 1?
Okay.
Damn.
good to go? Anytime?
Recording.
Perfect. Hey guys, welcome to the show. My name is Spencer, and I will be your condensed host for today's episode of Expat Soup. Once again, we're coming to you live from Jimmy V's here in Yangzhou, China, and I'm sitting here with the homies James and Lee.
Hey.
Hey, everybody.
So today's expat guest is a Mr. Jakpasu Wilberforce.
Yep. Jakpasu Wilberforce. That's how it's pronounced.
Do it again, Spence.
You're much better at that. That seems to be a recurring theme here on the show. Just started off with my cultural insensitivity. That's a good way to start a show about expats.
No, but it is a difficult name to pronounce because even people in my country can't pronounce.
You gotta put some umph into it.
Yeah, like it's got to come from the heart, like
You've got to mean it.
Jakpasu. Yeah, like pretend you're mad at someone and go like. Like, yeah.
Is that what you do when you're mad?
So anytime somebody says your name, it's like you're like a Bond villain or something.
Exactly a Bond.
Nice.
And then the other name was a Wilberforce.
Wilberforce.
So first name Jakpasu.
Yep.
Last name Wilberforce.
Exactly.
And that's I feel like I've heard that name before.
Sounds like a Pokemon.
It sounds. There's like a college or something. I think in America.
No, it's a typical
or
English
it's a
name actually. Is it? Yeah, because
It's something in America, like a school or something. I swear. I swear this is a
Sounds like a
fact.
brand. If you like, you might see it on like a tee or a hoodie or something.
Well, I'd like to think of myself as a brand.
Don't we all? Thank God for Facebook.
So why did you go by Will? Why is that the name you chose?
Because it's easier for Chinese to pronounce, especially here. And I think, it's cooler because, Will Smith, so...
Okay.
Will,
Right.
But could you not shorten your actual first name to Jack? Yeah, like isn't Jack not?
Yeah, no, but Jack is not as cool as Will.
Oh,
so.
you're right. Yeah. Who wants to be
My
Jack?
middle name is William. I'll vouch for you.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know why I go by what I do. But anyways, you're from Ghana?
Yeah, Ghana.
Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, yeah. Cool, fortunate. Yeah.
It's not Ghana.
No, definitely. No. It's Ghana.
Okay.
Yeah.
And not that I'll know the city or where you're from in Ghana.
Oh, yeah, I'm from there are like 10 regions in Ghana, and I'm from the Volta region. It's right next to the border, so I'm from the Volta region.
The border of a country or the sea or
No, a country, and I need to take a few seconds to remember which country.
Ghana's in West Africa. Is that right?
It is West
okay,
Africa.
West Africa. I know the small stuff I do know about Ghana is from.
probably
I know
know
that we
much more
played
than I
Ghana in the World Cup.
Yep.
America's played Ghana in the World Cup a bunch. I feel like not a bunch,
twice or
but
thrice, I think. Yeah. We won every time.
So I know it's West Africa, and there's 10 regions.
Yeah, 10 regions.
Are they like provinces?
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like I
So
really
it's like a
hope they are 10.
statehood or whatever province.
Yeah,
It's
like
not
province.
just like a country like Afghanistan or something.
No, they're different regions with totally different cultures, totally different languages. So the languages are not similar at all. They eat very different foods, and
Oh,
yeah,
So it's very diverse little region.
extremely diverse. Yeah,
So what holds them all together?
I have no.
The
idea.
government.
The government.
How many languages would you say, if you know?
Languages, there are quite a lot because even in every region, there are different languages spoken in every region.
Yeah.
So I'd say there should be more than, 40 dialects.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
In
Is
more
English
than 40
the-
dialects. Yeah.
main language?
It is. It's the official language. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
One official, or is there multiple?
Just one official language.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because like South Africa has multiple official languages.
But because it's too diverse in Ghana, they won't allow another region's language to be an official language. If not, you're going to have to make
everyone,
region's
yeah.
language.
And then you got 50.
Yeah, so it's not going to work out.
So you're from the Volta?
Yeah, the Volta
region. So what could you tell us about the Volta region? I guess we could say that it's like bigger than what? Like
I have no idea. It's. I mean,
Ghana's not a huge country. Right?
No. We've got a population of about 30 million now, and
This segment I'd like to call Ghana in 60 seconds.
we've got about 30
He doesn't
million.
know that movie.
The Volta region should have maybe a little close to 1 million people, and the language we speak there is called Ewe, which is not the most popular language in Ghana. And I mean, I think I don't know how to explain the people there, but
What's something that you kind of maybe remember from childhood or something that you thought, okay, this is
yeah, but okay. I didn't grow up in that region. I grew up in a different one. So I usually go there for Christmas, Easter, and this kind of stuff. So maybe they really like, heavy foods, I should say. They like heavy foods and dancing and
fresh, like good real food.
Yeah, that
not
kind of
like
thing.
processed
No,
crap.
not at all.
Like
Not at
like
all.
grandma's not eating a bag of chips or something. no. She's eating like an apple.
Right, no. I mean, like when you go there for Christmas,
Papaya.
you eat a whole lot of like real, like farm grown stuff, like yams, plantains,
Healthy
cassavas,
Nice.
that kind of thing.
Okay. How's the climate? What kind of?
It's hot as hell. Like
Is it right near the
extremely hot.
equator? Or?
Yeah. It's not so far from the equator, but considerably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That whole
Equator.
middle part of Africa that you're in
Yeah,
is
yeah.
pretty
James, that's the little hot line around
Yeah.
the middle of the earth.
Equator? What's that?
But I mean, compared to summertime in China, it's not as hot as summertime in China.
So it's not so crazy.
No, it's not that crazy. But
Kinda-
the thing is, it's like that all year round.
It's a dry heat as well, right? Not,
Yeah.
No
It's
humidity.
not- No.
Yeah.
So you have plantains. Does that make it tropical?
I'm in the
Okay,
dry
sick,
heat camp.
sick.
I'm
Dry
a big
heat
fan of dry heat.
Is that a camp? Is that two separate camps?
I mean,
Who likes humid
I've cut
heat?
all the humid people out of my life. ain't got the
That was
yeah.
That's an awkward dinner with parents when they're humid and you're dry. And how can
Right?
you just talk to them when you
Gets
so
too
different?
wet.
It's hard, but
That's what she said.
What's the capital of Ghana?
Accra.
And how far is that from where you live?
From where I live, it's about 400 kilometers.
Okay, so that's pretty far.
Yeah, it's pretty far.
so what? Africa, I guess. This is a podcast. Nobody's seeing anything. Thank God.
We're all naked right now. Just clear that up.
For people that don't know Africa in my head I've heard it before. It looks kind of like an elephant's ear. Is that kind of right?
Yeah.
I think
Just
so.
kind of think of an elephant ear.
I've never really paid much attention to elephant ears, but I think so.
Well, what else would Africa look like? I don't know.
I mean, does it need to look like
just to paint a picture as to where
I'm sure
Ghana
people-
is.
Okay.
It's in the earlobe.
A foot with a very defined.
If you're listening to this, you are on the internet and you can Google.
Hey, we've already asked them to listen to the show. That's we can't ask anything else.
I mean, I'll throw up a picture on the YouTube clip for this if you really need to know.
Well, is there a beach?
Yeah, because
So,
the southern part
Let's
is
just say
sea.
West Africa.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's that? Yeah.
There are lots of beaches in Ghana.
Beautiful, right? Good, nice beaches.
Ish.
Beaches.
Beautiful-ish, I should say.
What's the ish there?
Yeah, like they're quite beautiful, but not so beautiful.
Okay.
Okay, but any beauty is good enough, right?
I think so.
Better than the beaches here,
Definitely.
right? It's about perspective.
Definitely.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So it's the Atlantic Ocean, and is that the part where all the hurricanes come off of Africa?
I really have no idea.
Do you have hurricanes in Ghana?
No.
No. Okay, then maybe not.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. And then, so how long did you live there?
Well, I've lived in Ghana for, I should say, altogether 16, 17 years. I think.
And you're 17.
I know I look so young.
You're one of the young bucks around here.
I look so young. But I
So
mean,
16 years in Ghana.
yeah, I think so. I mean, I've not really done the math, but I should be around 16 years.
And
Were you in and out of Ghana often? Or
Yeah,
is
I
that
mean,
why?
when I was young, when I was born, we went to live in the bordering country, Cote d'Ivoire.
Oh,
We
okay.
were
The
there for
Ivory Coast?
Yeah, Ivory Coast.
Okay.
Yeah, we were
I've
there
heard
for
of that
2,
one.
3 years.
wait, how do you say that in the cool way?
Cote d'Ivoire. In French, it's Cote d'Ivoire.
Cote d'Ivoire.
Yeah.
And do you speak like 7 languages?
No, not 7 languages. I mean,
Just 6.
6.
I mean, including the languages spoken in our country, I should say 4, 5. And I'm trying to learn Spanish and French properly. So
Okay.
yeah.
Nice. So you grew up like 1 through 16 in that region of Africa. Did you do a lot of traveling in the other parts of Africa during that time, or?
No, not really.
It's
I
such
mean,
a big country, right? It's just massive.
It is. I mean, after a few years
Continent.
in Cote d'Ivoire.
Did I say country?
Yes,
Oh,
yes, you
God,
did.
what an idiot.
I pretended not to hear it. But
Slipped right by me.
yeah, but I mean,
James like, yep, that's right. Yep.
after 2-3 years in Cote d'Ivoire,
dear
my dad had to go do his PhD in England, so we moved there for a few years, and from there we went back to Ghana, and then
So you moved to England when you were how old?
I was like,
The continent of England?
I was probably
My face
3,
is
4,
redder than a
5,
Coke
I
can
think.
right now. I'm like a geography dick. I hate when people do stupid shit like that. So, sorry to myself. Anyway, so sorry. You went to England when you were
almost 4 years old.
4.
Yeah, 4.
Pretty young.
So, do you remember that transition? Was that one of your first like memories, or
Yeah.
did you block that out totally?
No. It's Cote d'Ivoire I've blocked out totally. I don't know why. I probably hated it as a child. So. Okay. Yeah, but
Wow.
So
England, I
that close
remember.
to your home country, but still that different.
yeah. It's extremely different. It's extremely different. I mean, they speak French. I don't
And
know.
so they speak French. They were, I'm guessing, colonized by the French, whereas
Yep.
Ghana was colonized by
the English.
the English. So that's awkward for Lee right now.
Yeah.
And independent from the British when?
1957.
1957. Okay, cool.
Yesterday was our Independence Day, actually.
really?
Yeah,
Wow.
6 months.
Congrats.
Happy Independence Day.
Yeah,
We'll have to
thank
shoot
you.
up some fireworks.
Yeah, we should.
Nice.
But
And then when did you leave the UK?
Um,
So from 4 until
7, I think we
Okay.
were there for about 3 years. Yeah.
So yeah, sorry. Back to the culture. Did you have any culture shock at 4 years old going to a new country, or was it just like, oh, this is life? You just do
I mean,
this.
I
This
was
is normal.
I was like a young kid having fun, making friends, just doing.
yeah, those are the best years of your life, right? 4 to 7. Everyone loves that
just
time.
doing stupid stuff, and then
So it wasn't like a crazy shock for
No,
you.
no.
It was
Maybe
just-
for my brother it was because he is 9 years
Little
older than
older?
I am. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, for him it is. Yeah,
so he was seeing it
Teenager,
through
yeah.
yeah.
Ghanaian eyes.
Yeah, so it was for him. It was
He
probably
would have like
totally-
the imprint of Ghana on him and then go into the
Yeah, I mean, imagine he had his teenage
Going
years
to the
with-
country, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I envy him because he had his teenage years with English girls. So
Slutty English girls. Yep, I know what that's like.
Yeah, that lucky bastard,
So your brother turned into a chav like super quick.
Yeah. I
Were
mean,
you in London or?
yeah, we were really close to London. We lived in a place called Y and for like a year, and then the rest we were in Ashford.
Oh, Ashford.
Yeah, we were in
So you
Ashford.
moved to England when you were 4 with your family.
Yep.
Because your dad was
Doing-
getting a PhD.
Yeah, getting a PhD.
In what?
I think it was in entomology, the study of insects.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
So is he an academic? I'm guessing.
Yep.
or
Now he's a
professor?
professor.
So he's really disappointed in you.
extremely, extremely. Like he keeps like, how is your master's going?
It's going. It's going.
Masturbating.
It's okay. It's all right, you know. Yeah.
So he's back in Ghana teaching, or
Yep. He's in Electra in the university now, so he's teaching strict as hell. So you know.
Okay,
Is he
so
teaching about insects? Is it?
Yeah,
That's his job.
I think he studied a whole lot of stuff. So he's teaching crop science, entomology.
Oh, jeez. All of it.
Yeah.
Everything.
I mean, he did zoology in
Yeah.
like in general. So I think he specialized in entomology. So he's teaching all those courses.
Very cool.
That's really cool.
Very cool. What are you studying? What's your master's in?
Hydraulic and hydropower engineering.
Okay.
Yeah. I regret doing it because
water energy.
yeah, exactly.
Is that?
I wish
okay.
it was as simple as that, but yeah.
Have you been to the Jeongdu power pump thing?
No, never. I'm too lazy to.
It's like 15 minutes from where you live.
Exactly. That's too much work.
I heard there's this huge water pump in Jeongdu.
Yeah, I
that's,
think
like,
I've
famous.
seen it before. A Chinese told me, but I've never really paid much attention to it.
What a good student.
Yeah.
How is studying in China? Did you study anywhere
So
else?
Yeah. No, I mean, in China I've been in Nanjing and Yangzhou. I studied Chinese in Nanjing, but I did more drinking than studying. So yeah.
And did you complete any kind of degree in other country or?
No, it was back home, back in Ghana. I did electrical engineering for undergrad.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Damn.
Why did you choose China for your masters? Like, why?
Well, okay, so
yeah, what's the? Because on the show. Sorry to butt in, but like we try to like unpack how somebody from somewhere comes to a place like China. You know what? It's not like it doesn't happen in one day. You know, it's like there's a few different things that happen, and then you're like, oh, I guess I'll go to China now.
Yeah, okay.
So take us through it a little
That
slowly.
being said, you're our first student. Everyone else has come here to work. Usually, you're the first student.
Okay, so my dad has traveled a lot. So he was in the States for almost a year in Ohio University, and then
Buckeye.
so he
Ohio State.
yeah.
Nice.
So he also came to China to talk to different universities for getting scholarships for Ghanaian lecturers to come and do their PhDs in China. So he came back home, and then
Okay.
he's like, yeah, he's been here, but he thinks it's better to come to China. Also because it's cheaper in China. So.
That helps, right?
That's a big factor.
When you get an education.
Yeah, also because it's cheaper in China, and for my field in engineering, they are quite advanced. So he said he thinks it's a good idea, and to be very honest, I didn't get a say in it. So
Okay. Is that kind of normal in Ghanaian culture that the parents kind of tell you what to do? And
like,
that's
I mean, you see those jokes, Black Americans tell about how white kids are with their parents, and
they're little assholes.
like you wouldn't dare do that at home because.
Strict. They'll throw a shoe at you or something.
Yeah, they're gonna strangle you. Or
Yeah, minimum of a shoe. Shoe to strangle is quite a gap.
Oh shit! Grandma just got Doc Martens.
But I mean, me personally, luckily for me, I was a very skinny child, so they couldn't really beat me that much because I would
can't see
die.
Yeah, you're lucky.
I mean, my brother, he's quite fit, so I mean.
He could take a beating.
So me, I was so
lucked out.
Yeah, I was so
bean.
lucky. So yeah.
So how did you take the news though? Like when they told you you're going to China to study, how did you take
I
it?
really wanted to go to the UK.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, I was talking to
For
my
the women, right?
I wanted to go to Manchester in particular. So my dad is like, okay, I'm glad you're interested in school and everything, so go figure out everything and let me know how it goes. So I go, I check out, and then just the tuition is £18,000.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, so I mean,
£18,000 is
School ain't cheap.
Like
Just get a library
ridiculous
card.
amount of dollars. Like £18,000.
yeah, and so I mean, a pound at that time, a pound in Ghana was like was it 6 Ghana cedis, and that's a whole lot of money. So £18,000. I mean, I decided to not bother telling him.
So the Ghanaian currency is the cedi?
Yeah, it's the CD.
How much is an apple in Ghana?
2 DVDs.
Three. 3D.
1 laser disc. Sorry, that's so mean.
No. I mean, an apple in Ghana. And I mean, I haven't been there for quite some time, but when I was leaving, it was like 1 CD 50 pesos. It's a little stronger than the yuan.
Okay.
So that's like 2.5 yuan for an apple.
Okay. Damn.
Almost the same as here, really. Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah, it's
And then what to USD? That would be a quarter, roundabout.
yeah, because I know $1 at a point in time was 4 Ghana CDs. So
Okay.
Oh, I get the CD reference now. It's Laserdisc. I got it.
Yeah.
I'm slow, man. I'm slow, man.
Wait, let's circle back to that name. Do you know Wilberforce? Do you know the history of that name, or do you know what it's from? Or because it's like a
Pokemon.
It's a different.
well, the only semi-famous person I know that was called Wilberforce was William Wilberforce, one of the people
Will.
Yeah, really overdid it.
who helped abolish the slave trade. That's the only semi-famous person.
okay.
Yeah, I remember that name now.
But-
So the British colonized Ghana.
Yep.
And then does this have anything to do? Did he have anything to do with Ghana, or is he British?
No,
or?
he's
Just a guy.
An old British guy somewhere
Okay.
who did. I don't know. I mean, my brother is called Wilfred, so I'm guessing he thought he's
Wilfred Wilberforce.
No, just Wilfred Jakbasu.
Oh, your family name is Jakbasu.
Yeah, family name is Jakbasu.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
thought your family name was
So-
Wilberforce.
No, it's
So in Ghana, you put your family name first,
yeah,
like the Chinese way.
family
Okay,
name
I
first,
see.
yeah.
Oh, cool.
Now I'm with you.
Got it.
So-
And that makes sense, not naming yourself Jack.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. So I mean, he's Wilfred. So
So
he
your
probably
father
thought-
named you after this guy that tried to and did abolish slavery.
I mean,
That's cool.
I hope so. I mean,
Otherwise, he just looked like.
Or there was just
Yeah,
an
that'll do.
80s
Wilberforce.
some 80s metal band that he
probably
called
I mean,
Wilberforce.
but I mean, he did spend a lot of time in the UK, so he probably got it from. Because before I was born, he did go there to spend a lot of. Because he went studying there before going to do his
Cool.
PhD. So
I'm gonna have to Google that later because names are kind of interesting to me. But
I've never heard that. I'm from the UK, and I've never heard the name before. Really? Like when I knew your name was Will, I always assumed
it was William.
William, yeah.
But I've always thought
Maybe
William
Wilfred
is
on an outskirt, but Wilberforce? No, it's just like I said. It sounds like a Pokemon.
I think
to
it's
me.
a cool.
It is cool. It's
it's very
you got the word force in your name. Like, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. The force that
there's a lot of
attracts
things
the
you can do with
ladies.
that.
The force that attracts the lady.
May the Wilberforce be with you.
No doubt.
Awesome. So we got the name, we got the place.
Yep.
Moved to England when you were 4, came back to Ghana.
Unfortunately.
Now you're in China.
Unfortunately, yeah.
What's your feelings? What's that about?
Yeah, I mean, I love China. It's the best because I mean it's safe. It's really easy staying.
Isn't it
in.
safe?
Yeah.
It's
It's
too.
so
It's a
Don't
bit
you feel
too
safe here?
I mean,
So
you-
safe.
Yeah, like
Not that, I mean, I don't know about Ghana, but I mean, America is relatively safe depending on where you are, etc.
Yeah.
But
We were
China,
joking
it's
today,
like
bro.
you could walk home at 2 a.m. like blind with a
Exactly.
blindfold on,
Right.
holding your phone,
Holding
and all
your money all in your hands
with a shirt that says "I'm with stupid" pointing up.
in Chinese, of course.
No, but it's
Shabby.
really safe
Shower.
in China. And that's whenever I have to leave China, that's what's gonna hurt me the most because I'm gonna leave all this comfort here back into a place.
It's
where
comfy, right?
Yeah, it's a bit
It's too comfy.
Yeah, you get complacent. You don't do shit no more. You just stay in bed and go out and get drunk.
I have no idea what that's like.
And I mean, you can leave a bar all by yourself at 2 a.m. and take a walk drunk. You wouldn't dare do that in Ghana because
Like US, UK, I would say are the same. Like
Yeah, you
there are places you avoid just
Depends
because
where
the
you're at.
sun has gone down. Exactly. you don't even need to be, you could be in a car and you wouldn't drive there.
I mean, even with the sun up, you don't go through certain
Like
places.
people say, don't just go around. Just go around. Take
Yeah.
this street, go around.
Yeah, but it's not like that in China, especially in this province. So it's
Yeah, I would say like if you go to certain places that are less populated, you would be a little bit more nervous.
Yep.
Rightfully so or not, I don't know, but people would in the countryside probably not want to go out just because street lights.
You can't see what you're gonna walk
Like country.
on.
Have you been to the countryside in China?
Yeah, yeah.
It is just farmland, and there is no lights. No,
It's beautiful.
The streets don't have like sidewalks, pavements at the side. Like
a bit scary.
it can be.
No, it's cool.
But
It's like a developing country.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
and I would only be scared because I'm putting on those expectations I'd have in the UK.
Yeah, okay.
Those are the
that's
kind
true.
of places you wouldn't go to in the UK because that's where you're gonna get raped or you're gonna get stabbed or you're gonna get like attacked by someone. Yeah,
Yeah.
but in China it's like fine,
Yeah,
totally
it's
straight, man.
weird. Like,
You're gonna see a
So when
stray
you-
dog and a grandma.
right?
In that order.
She's hunting stray dogs.
sorry.
So you gotta tell me when you first got to China, you flew into Shanghai, Beijing,
No, Guangzhou.
Guangzhou.
Yeah, that was the scariest
what-
day of my life.
That's pretty far from Nanjing. That's where
You
you're
get
going.
off the plane and you're like, oh my god, everybody's Chinese.
Okay, so I get off the place and everybody looks like a criminal. I don't know who to trust because they're all weird looking guys with these shady looks. Like they're looking at you like, oh, I'm gonna rob this guy. Like yeah, it was
When
so,
you got to Guangzhou?
yeah, because
So it's a bit seedy down down in the south?
Yeah, I mean in Guangzou.
Guangzhou has the highest crime in China.
It
Yeah.
does. So I mean, and I was told that before coming. I was told,
What do you know?
like, be
Wilberforce
careful.
was just there.
Hey, this little Ghanaian is rocked up.
So I mean, I get there and I needed to book a flight to Yangzhou the following day, so I had to spend the night in Guangzhou. So I go look for a hotel, and this guy comes without a shirt and weird looking
That's so
slippers,
Chinese.
and he's like, "Oh, I'm a hotel manager." And in my head, I'm like, "No, you're not."
You can't even manage your outfit, homie.
And I'm like, okay, just keep calm and see where this goes. And he really was the hotel manager.
That's very China.
Yeah, and then he booked my
he pulled
ticket.
his card out of his butt crack.
And I mean, he even booked my ticket to Yangzhou and everything.
Jeez,
Nice
wow.
thing you
Yeah,
ever
and
met in
then
your
this
life,
guy
right?
just came with like dirty looking slippers and no shirt on, and then I'm like, well, this is China. I can fuck with this.
And you've never worn a top since.
Okay. They're so carefree. Because I mean, in my country, it's like there's always this standard you have to keep. You can't let loose and do.
So as
certain
far as
things.
face goes, you mean
Yeah, you have to.
you have to maintain a level of
Exactly, because I mean, here I could walk downstairs in my pajamas in broad daylight and go shopping, and
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna stare at me. But if I do that in my country,
But if they do stare at you, it's not because of what you're
Yeah,
wearing
it's
at
not
all.
because-
It's
exactly.
because you're a black guy in China,
yeah,
right?
exactly. I mean, I've had people touch my hair. And
Oh yeah, for the
everything.
listeners, Wilberforce is black.
Yeah.
He's pretty black.
A little,
Black
like
is-
Just a
40%
few shades
black.
darker than me. Just a few.
Yeah. But I like to describe myself as chocolate, sweet milk chocolate.
That'll get you far.
yeah. So far,
I like to
China
describe
has.
myself as like a dry cracker, like saltine.
That's exactly
If
how
you,
I
like,
describe you too.
If you were to touch me, little dust flakes would fall off.
Spencer, yeah, he's like a dry cracker.
Salty.
So salty.
Very salty.
Extremely.
I put olive oil on my resume.
You need to put skin color on resumes.
I'm an intern at Wonder Bread. Anyway, so you got to China and things were weird.
Yeah, extremely weird
Different from Ghana in every way.
in every single way. Because I mean, I when I got here, there was one time in Nanjing, I needed to know which bus to take back to the school. So I saw this old lady, and I'm like, oh, old ladies are nice sometimes. So I walk up to her, And as soon as she sees me, she holds her bag so tight, looks at me from head to toe, and this old lady ran away. She didn't walk away, she didn't jog away, she ran away.
Sprinted.
And then I'm like, wow, I don't know if I should be offended, but it's funny to see an old lady running.
Oh, you got it.
An old Chinese lady.
She hadn't ran in 40 years.
She was running.
She pulled a hammy.
She's still running now. Like she hasn't stopped.
She hasn't stopped since. And it was so funny, but I mean, I understood it because
Because nobody should trust you.
I mean, I wouldn't trust me if I saw me coming up to me. Yeah.
So being black in China, is that like being Chinese in Ghana?
Not
Or-
really, but I must say,
How many Chinese people are in Ghana?
now a lot of them, so many of them, 'cause
Doing
they're doing a whole lot of construction work and illegal mining. Actually,
Shocking.
Yeah.
Illegal mining.
Illegal mining.
Yeah, they're being deported most of the time.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Like the whole company, the people. What's going?
Like the people come in to do like legal construction work, and then they just end up doing illegal mining.
Oh,
They feel it's more profitable.
just effing the
So they're
earth.
just digging a hole.
Getting-
Exactly.
They just go and dig a hole.
I mean, people will turn a blind eye to them because China
Are
rates
they
helping Ghana.
filtering
so
money into your country, or
I
just
have-
filtering all the minerals out?
I should think it's filtering all the minerals out. I don't know.
So black in China.
Black in China is sometimes it's quite interesting because people want to touch my hair and
Touch your hair.
my hair, yeah, because they're like, oh, your hair's so curly, can I touch it? Yes, you can. Sometimes I want to charge them, but you should.
I mean, like, white people ask that to black people a lot anyway, right? Like, they shouldn't be surprised by black people at all. So,
Yeah, so like, oh yeah, can I touch your hair? Yeah, oh, it's so nice, and I mean, they would probably say it to be nice because I don't think it's.
And it's such a weird situation because China's been, just mainly Chinese people for 5,000 years.
Or a million, who
They
knows?
opened up China in 1970s, late 1970s. So
but to be fair,
it's,
it was only opened because it was closed. Like it was before
right.
the-
I'm not like.
like 100 years ago, it was open, and then the whole Mao era, it was closed.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Really? Oh.
Give or take. That was.
I mean,
like,
open with
Yeah.
air quotes.
Open, but
Marco
still
Polo
mostly.
came here.
Britain came in and just kind of opened her up, right?
twice, baby. 2 opium wars, right?
Britain was pretty good at opening places up.
Really, really good.
That's right.
Extremely good.
So what are some of the funniest reactions you've had as a black person in China?
I'm going up I'm trying to get onto a bus. A young girl is coming up. She sees me and she screams so much and drops her iPhone.
Wow.
Yeah, at that point in time, I wasn't using an iPhone, so I'm thinking, do I pick this up and run? Or
What would a different black person do?
yeah, like, do I pick this up and run? Or, but I mean, it was funny. I've had someone comes to take a selfie with me, and she takes the selfie, and then afterwards she shows it to me, and she's like, "Damn, you are ugly."
She used all her
And then
English to tell
in front of you, just delete.
She shows it to me,
Delete.
and I mean, she knew I could speak Chinese, and she
Yeah.
told me, I'm like, "Oh, Jen Xian, like." What? Yeah.
Delete.
And she just walked away, and I'm like,
I mean, like, as an opposite of that, I would never call myself a handsome person, but I get complimented as being handsome in China constantly. Like, people want photos with me because they say but
Yeah.
they're really just looking at my skin and my eye color.
Exactly.
That's as deep as it goes.
but then she said, I mean, in my head, I'm like, fuck you, I think I'm ugly too. But you don't get to tell me I'm
too real.
You don't get to tell me I'm ugly. I mean, I know I am, but you don't get to tell me. It's like, yeah. People ask for selfies all the time, and people can act weird. Like,
And we're in Yangzhou, which is a third-tier, smaller city where there's not as many
Yeah.
outside
They were
influences.
10 years ago, they
so,
were in the countryside, man.
Yeah.
Right. So you're in Shanghai, it's like whatever, but you come to Yangzhou.
You come to Yangzhou and-
white or black, you're
Yeah.
kind of a black sheep.
But I've been stayed at the most in Beijing, actually. Because I went to the Great Wall, and for like an hour, I stood at one place because there was a
More
long
like the
queue
good
of
wall.
people wanting to take pictures.
And you made 10,000 yuan that day.
No, I mean that was the part that hurt
Put your
the
hat
most.
down and-
Like, I made no money at all.
No, but
That's
the
terrible.
problem with the Great Wall is that no one in Beijing goes
Goes
to the Great Wall. It's all
It-
people from the
yeah,
countrysides
yeah.
of China going to the Great Wall.
so
so you're
I-
getting bumfuck locals.
Yeah, so I just woke
Yeah,
up like I take 5 stairs and
You're
then
like, hi, I'm Will Smith.
You may recognize me.
I mean I have tried that before in China. It didn't work, but I mean I did try.
You just need an entourage. around you.
Exactly.
yeah. Like,
Sunglasses. That's sunglasses. That's fine.
yeah, I mean I've got his ears but not his look. So
In that you have ears.
You have ears. Yeah, okay.
Oh, my God.
So, like, circling back to when you were saying, like, Chinese in Africa, in Ghana or whatever.
yeah.
Did you watch the Spring Festival Gala, the Chinese Spring Festival Gala?
Here we
Nope.
go.
No? So, for people listening, Spring Festival Gala is, how would you describe it? It's
Well,
the-
Spring Festival
the
is
Macy's Day
Chinese.
Parade.
New
Is
Year.
the Chinese country's sort of New Year,
Yeah.
Christmas all rolled into one. It's just their biggest holiday. It's called Spring Festival, and every year there's a TV show on.
Yeah, the
that's
Spring
like
Festival
a bunch
Gala.
of songs and music and acting.
It lasts
and
for a long... It's like 5 hours
It's
or
very
longer.
long,
Yeah.
and it's
But this-
not always top quality content.
Not at all. This past year...
So this last year
they had a segment about Africa because China as a country is investing so much money into Africa and
They really are,
all of that
that's-
stuff. But they had, I'm going to show Will some pictures of what they did. They did blackface,
I don't think that would look good.
like a Chinese woman, like in blackface. Not only blackface, but she had like a giant cushion size thing on her ass as well to accentuate her ass and like. Yeah, so
But,
And
okay,
this is, like,
so that
state
means the only
sponsored.
part they got right was the ass.
no, but then you can see like some other. They had like costumes of people as baboons and stuff like that, and
yeah.
it was a very
That's a nice
Lion
song.
King-esque performance of the whole of.
Yeah, that's the first time I've heard an iPhone X. Like,
Is that an iPhone X?
This is a Samsung.
Samsung, really?
Samsung.
Okay, I'm drunk, so.
We're plugging the Samsung.
But, so you didn't watch that on TV, or
No,
But
I
what would your takeaway be from those images? Like, what do you think about Africa being represented in China?
Okay. So this is the thing. I don't know. I've always been. I don't know. It's just I never get. You know, I don't really pay much attention to these things, and I've always had extremely stupid friends. So certain things don't really get.
It's a good strategy.
Yeah,
Always be
certain
the
things
smartest
don't
person in the
really
room.
get to you. I mean, for example, one thing that's mostly talked about is the word nigger. Okay, so I don't know why it should offend someone when, because I mean, think about it this way. Even if you think of it as an insult, if someone says you're an idiot or you're a bloody bastard, okay, if you say so, and you're able to move away from it, then that's it. Like that word shouldn't be anything different. Like, because I've always had friends that would insult you anyhow, anywhere, and because I've had lots of friends from different countries, and
You grow a thick skin, and
yeah,
you can take.
no. I mean, apart from that, I mean, if, for example, if I call you a white cracker, I don't expect you to take offense because we're cool and all. So if you
Right.
call me a nigga, you don't expect me to go like, yo, that's not cool.
I think there may
But
be
you
a
wouldn't
deeper
expect me to
context.
say that.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, but that's the thing.
Like a white cracker is like someone who owned property and people, whereas the N word is someone who
Okay.
was a slave.
Okay,
So like a slightly different
I
context.
thought of it this way, that maybe because I've never really been through any of those hardships.
You got the disconnect of
Yeah,
not knowing
I can't
what
really
it was like.
relate to all those kind of things. So, I mean, people might get offended because maybe they remember certain things.
You know,
and
if
all,
somebody's
but-
saying any word or any phrase in a derogatory way, or in a joking, off-the-cuff remark, Like, there's a difference, right?
Okay, yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Like if I was trying to hurt you and I said that word, you would take it more serious than if I just jokingly said it.
Okay,
in
that's
a
true.
different
But
situation.
then that's the point. It's at that point in time where you train yourself to realize that okay, so yeah, you were trying to hurt me, so you called me a nigger. So what I mean, okay, so what if you're bigger and stronger than I am? What am I gonna do?
What do you mean if?
No, I mean. So as I said,
You looked directly at me when you said that.
as I said, to all those listening, emphasis on if. So what if you're way bigger and stronger than I am? What am I? Because I mean, I can't hurt you. So what am I going to do?
Yeah.
I can't do
Well,
anything.
you also speak so many languages. So do you think that words itself loses an emphasis on or with meaning as you develop new language and you find new insults in different languages? And I mean, does that
Okay, I think so because I don't know because. For example, back home, the word bastard means nothing. It's not an insult. If you call me a bastard, okay,
Yeah.
whatever that means. Or
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of an insult that would really like piss me off. Like,
I mean, in my country,
if somebody called me like
You're such a carefree guy. I don't think anything. Take anything out of
people
serious.
call me fat here all the time, and I've gotten used to
I
that.
agree with them.
I just moved house.
This is
I
coming
finished
from
moving
Mr.
house
Stringbean.
a couple days ago or this week, and I was dealing with the landlord, and he insisted on calling me this lao wai and chicka lao wai tingle dong. I'm like, man, dude, you're saying it in a derogatory way. I can
Yeah,
tell.
yeah,
you know?
it's true.
And it's just like
Yeah.
it's just saying foreigner, but
It's not what you say; it's how
How
you
you
say
say
it.
it.
Okay, yeah,
right.
that's true.
I'd agree with that. So you would have no problems if there was a rap song on now, like say Kanye West, he dropped the M-bomb,
Yeah.
bunch of white people are singing along and they drop it too. That's okay for you.
Yeah, that's the thing. Me, I mean, okay, they're doing their thing. It doesn't affect me in any way.
you seem like a really optimistic person about your general outlook is super positive.
I mean,
so.
that's the point. I mean, I can't go through life. I mean, like at this point in time, I hate people in general.
You don't need another reason.
You're over 10 years old. Because that's a realization we all come to.
People will complain about everything. I remember there was a point in time people were complaining about Wonder Woman, like being represented as an ambassador for peace, but the feminist was like, her boobs are too big. Why use a woman with huge boobs
in the internet information age, people are getting offended at everything they can
everything.
for clicks. I think
Yeah.
maybe in their heart they're offended or whatever, but they're doing it for maybe all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, like I mean,
If you're truly offended, you can
Clickbait
voice.
has ruined people's opinions because they will just title things in the weirdest way or deceitful ways, just lying about
Exactly.
something.
Like,
So you get
know.
angry about something that's not even true because it's just the title has said that. Like
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
they're talking about isn't actually that.
I mean, I want to be so close with my friends enough that if someone is gay, I want to be able to call them a faggot. I mean, I'm
It's fun.
Yeah, like you get it. Like I mean, we're close. Like I mean, he said something stupid. Haha, you faggot. It's okay. Like
Yeah.
I mean, I do something like. Oh,
And you've
man.
had that experience where you.
I have friends
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Like,
And-
there are
and-
no
Friends who call you a
boundaries,
faggot. It's
like-
and everybody's different in that regard. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I
it
guess
depends
it-
how close you are with someone and how much you know someone. But if you were to say like on Facebook, like I hate faggots, it's totally different.
Yeah,
you know?
okay, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I get that.
right.
You really can't.
Right.
You can't do that. But I mean, if it's someone, your friends, someone will get offended when your friend calls you a word that they think is inappropriate.
Yeah,
I mean, it's none of your business. It's something between me and my friend. But they're gonna get so angry.
They'll bring it into their mindset and their viewpoint, and they'll
And
put their
that's all.
baggage onto it and just ride that horse into the sunset.
This is definitely cultural as well because I would say the N-word in general in the UK, either spelt with an A or spelt with an ER, it's kind of considered the same. And it's not used... I would even say black people to themselves don't use it the same way black people in America use it, like in rap and whatever. It's not a common word that you would just hear at all.
It's true though.
Like,
but I mean, the problem
In
is,
England?
Yeah, in the UK in general. Like,
I mean, now
the
there's
UK, yeah.
a whole lot of Western influence in Ghana, so the N word is everywhere. So I mean, like it's thrown about. It's
everyone's black in Ghana.
it's fine. No, but I mean, so imagine there's a white guy and he has 6-7 black friends, and all of them call each other, "Yo, nigga, what's up?" And then,
Yeah.
so
At that point, it's just a word.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so why would you get offended if someone who is basically a part of you would use the same word?
Yeah.
Because at that point in time, he's not being derogatory.
I think
or anything.
friendship trumps any sort of
Exactly.
color or sexual
but-
orientation.
Yeah.
et cetera.
Unfortunately, people don't seem to get it, and that's why I hate people.
They've never. You gotta give them like credit. They've or not credit, but you gotta give them an excuse. They've never experienced that kind of friendship. So
Yeah.
I don't know. You gotta kind of not pity. I don't want to pity people, but like just go. You know what? You don't.
Right, we don't
understand
pity
this.
people, we hate them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just.
Yeah, because I mean, think about
No
it.
sympathy.
I mean,
Pure hatred.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a stupid person. So if I have a friend, of course I'm gonna use stupid words against you just to, get a kick out of it and laugh at you and all. So if we get to this point where we can't do those things, then
Then it gets a little fuzzy, a little hairy.
yeah. So
It's like, why am I friends with you?
exactly, but some people, especially Americans,
It's the
It's only American.
well, we like to put ourselves on a pedestal, and a lot of
Yeah.
Americans like to think of the world through American eyes, which is not the world; it's just America.
yeah.
Well, there's a statistic that like 30 or something percent of Americans have a passport, but only 10 of that 30%
Have
have
used it.
gone abroad.
Outside of North America, maybe.
Outside,
Because
yeah.
like Mexico and Canada probably get a lot of
Yeah, they go
traffic.
to
but
they go to
then
Cancun once, and they think they're like a
Yeah.
world traveler.
Right.
So international.
Oh my God.
No, but then
I
again,
went to Cancun,
Mr.
that was
Worldwide.
great.
Yeah, but then again, if you were a citizen of, in quotes, one of the most powerful countries in the world,
In where?
in quotes,
a citizen of
yeah,
that place.
one of the most,
Yeah.
or if not the most powerful country in the world, you probably do the same thing. So you can't really blame them.
Yeah, but like Chinese people as well. Like I would say even less than 30% have passports, and even less than 10% of whatever percent has a passport has traveled.
But they seem to have a more international mindset, regardless if they've traveled abroad, though.
But they get so surprised when they
people.
see foreign people. That's not an
But
international
the-
mindset. Like you see a Chinese person in Florida, or like someone who's Asian
But think
in
about-
Florida.
you
You're
have
not
that
like, oh my
conversation.
God, look at that Asian person.
but you'd
Look
still
at
have
that.
that conversation in English, though. Like they're just generally like a more internet. Like the kids that I meet, because these kids are going to go abroad.
Kids
But
more so than adults.
They're
the adults
focusing
are-
on learning a language, though. The people we meet are always focusing learning languages generally.
But even so, dude, I was in Nanjing right before. I went home for Spring Festival for a couple days, and I was in Nanjing for a minute, and I was talking with like a guy a little older than me, I think like 32, and a grandpa that was, he still had this whole very open, very friendly mindset about Americans, and I'm American, going back.
Yeah.
He knew I was going back to America. It was just like.
And I feel like you can gauge a lot from a person, like their country and their mindset, through a small conversation, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to start this podcast, to see different
yeah.
people's viewpoints. But
Yeah.
like that's what James was saying. Like you meet some Chinese people and you're like, oh my God, you're like backwoods, never even seen the internet. Like you don't even know what life is. And then you meet like a grandma that's like cool as hell and like down to earth and
so
like
friendly, like
friendly and
all
like, oh cool, what's up, man?
95% of Chinese people are friendly and open to.
Yeah,
but I
mean-
wouldn't say that gives them an international mindset. It's just like they're more willing to learn and talk to you than an average American might be.
More humanistic, maybe?
Maybe, yeah.
Well, that is true because I think Chinese are actually nicer than people from my country.
For sure. Better than any British person I've ever met.
James and I are American, which is obviously a melting pot. England, UK is somewhat of a melting pot, obviously.
Massive.
Ghana,
I mean, even for me being in China, it's amazing. Like, you're like, yo, you want this? Have it. Like, that's how easy it is being a foreigner in China.
Because they're scared of you, Will.
Take it. Don't kill me. Just take it. You think it's them saying have it. It's them saying please just don't kill me.
I mean, it's still nice all the same. It's really nice. It's really nice. Yeah, like, you know. I mean, I just don't pay attention to their raised hands and stuff.
and the tears rolling down their face.
I just think they're tears of joy. You know. It's so amazing. Like, you're doing anything. Like, you go out to Chinese and they listen. Like, what do you want? You want this? You can have it.
Yeah.
I mean, back in my country, nobody's gonna look at you and be like, "Hey, like, you're a cool person. Come here, sit with me. I'm gonna give you anything you want."
And it's not just like, say, a Chinese person in Ghana. The local Ghanaians are not going to give them things just for being Chinese.
They don't even like the
right?
Chinese.
Yeah.
They don't really like them because they feel like, Chinese. Everything is fake in China. We don't want to be with you. Just go sit somewhere else.
Wow.
It's true because I mean that's the reputation China developed earlier. Like, they only produce fake stuff and.
I mean, it's not wrong. It's not wrong. There's a lot of fake shit here.
I feel like it's like I think now
It's not nice, but it's not wrong.
I mean, now Ghanaians are really coming to China to study, so the mindset is gradually changing.
Yeah.
Back home.
Would you say that's because of the prices or like the education prices here, or would you say there's any other the ties with Africa and China?
No, I think it's because China really gives out scholarships.
Okay.
If the UK gave out as much scholarships as China did, nobody would come to China. I mean, I wouldn't be in China.
Okay.
There's scholarships here that you just get paid to go to school.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not like you're you get paid to go to school, and it's not like you're studying. It's not like you're an expert on a subject or something.
Exactly, you're paid to learn.
You just
have a passport.
You're a green hand in the schooling system, and you get paid to go to school without any.
I got
effort.
friends from Fiji. I mean, it's not Africa, but Fiji, and they literally got paid. They didn't pay any tuition, and they got paid like 1,000.
And those are Fijians.
Yeah.
That are doing that. So that the opportunities are endless here. That's what we're saying.
Fiji is a tiny
visit,
island
Mom.
with nobody living there.
Okay, and I didn't know, but people from Fiji are Fijians?
Fijian, I think. Fijian.
Fijian, okay.
They got the best water
where is
there.
Fiji?
Fiji is in
Fiji's in
Pacific.
it's
South
like
Pacific.
the opposite of America on the globe.
It's like south of Samoa.
Yeah.
Where's Samoa?
Jesus. Like, you know Hawaii.
Malaysia.
Hawaii.
You know that
Yeah.
country, Africa?
New Zealand and you know New Zealand, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
New
don't even
Zealand
know
and
where
Hawaii,
New Zealand
somewhere in
is.
the middle
It's
of
like
it.
in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
In the middle,
Pretty
no
much.
doubt.
Like there's a lot of islands around there.
Which
Pacific Islands.
ocean?
They got jobs
my
there.
geography is terrible.
Pacific.
I mean, even
Pacific Islands. So,
Pacific Ocean?
I got the oceans.
Pacific.
I know the oceans. I know there's 7 oceans?
7.
7 minus 3.
Atlantic, Pacific, Indian, Arctic, Antarctic.
Nope.
5.
Nope. Antarctic is a country.
Antarctic.
Arctica.
No, there's the Arctic Ocean.
It's a continent.
Yep.
Hey, that's a callback. Callback.
That's what it is.
4 oceans then.
4.
Oh, we went from 7 to 4. I know the 7.
7
but wait,
continents.
that's 4.
There we go. 7 continents, 4 oceans.
What are the 7 continents?
Australia, North America,
It's Australasia.
Asia, Africa, Antarctica, Europe, thanks. South America, boom, 7. Fuck yeah.
No,
7.
but depending
Where would
on
you say Russia sits in those continents?
Asia, I know that.
Completely Asian.
No,
Yeah.
no, that's the thing. Depending
Russia's so
on
big.
which country you're from, there are a different number of continents.
Yeah, continents are really like.
Really?
Yeah.
But think
'Cause
about
some people think there are
I always
4
think
continents.
I always think about Pangea.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah. But they think of America as one continent.
some people would say-
Eurasia,
You can
Africa,
say
and
the
then-
Americas.
Exactly.
The
People
Americas.
think
But then there's like
Okay.
South and North.
Yeah,
but
but
then there's
people
also
think-
Central.
Yeah,
People
but-
say Central America.
Yeah, but
That's not a
Central-
continent.
Central America is not a continent; it's a geographical region.
But then some people would argue that continents are not only geographical as like tectonic plates,
they're all man-made
cultural.
constructs.
Yeah,
Cultural, like the Middle East.
Yeah, but
would,
Central
some
America
people would argue
doesn't-
is different than Asia.
doesn't really count
because
Right,
continents.
there's
cultures.
gray areas.
And I got a map tattooed on my goddamn stomach. Bro.
I'm telling you, there's 7 seas and 7 continents.
Christopher Nolan's like vision when he made memento.
Seriously, he forgets everything the minute I forgot.
You've got your name tattooed on your left arm. I'm James.
Incorrectly spelled.
My spelling is terrible too. Fuck.
And you're
Me
a
too.
writer.
I know it's the worst.
Yeah, but at least Microsoft Word has autocorrect, no?
There we go.
Yeah,
There we go.
it's
Switch
okay.
over to Mac, bro. It's even better than Microsoft Word.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never used a Mac. I think
It's my first one. I thought when I bought one, I was like, oh my god, my 19-year-old self would think I'm so fucking cool right now.
So Ghana.
Yeah.
What is the?
What are you gonna do?
Hey.
What are you gonna?
That's an Italian person in Ghana trying to make a funny joke.
What are you gonna do?
If I was like going for the prime minister or president, chairman,
President.
if I was trying to be the president of Ghana, that would be my
Open.
that'd be my
What
slogan.
am I gonna
right?
do?
What am I gonna do?
What am I gonna do?
Yeah, that would work.
So ignoring everything
All right, let's
he
get
just
serious.
exactly.
said, what would you say a tourist should do when he goes to Ghana? He gets off the plane at whatever airport.
There's only one international airport.
Of course there is.
In Accra
Yeah, in Accra. Yeah.
So what should he do? Or she?
or it.
or Z or whatever it is people like to call themselves
Yeah,
now, which I
exactly.
think is pretty
Whatever's
pointless.
under your pants, we don't care.
Yeah.
I call myself
I mean,
James.
it can only be.
So if James gets off the plane in the capital
Picture
city,
this: James getting off a plane
Jimmy.
in Ghana.
Jimmy V here
Okay,
gets off
well,
the plane.
in
What
Ghana,
should he
there's
do?
a whole lot of drinking and partying, especially in the capital. So if you're someone that likes to get your party on, just
Ghana's
I don't know if
Ghana's
Jimmy's
good
ever
for
drank.
that?
Have you ever got drunk?
you have no idea.
I have no idea, but I'm gonna guess that like dance hall music is big there.
Electro
Actually-
kind of.
Dance hall.
Actually,
Dance, not electro, dance hall.
okay,
It's
well,
like reggaeton or
yeah, yeah,
reggae.
yeah. But when
Reggae.
people go out at night in Ghana, they prefer this type of it's not necessarily dancehall. It's like typical Ghanaian music that has this bass to the beats,
Something
and
you can
everything.
dance to.
like
Yeah.
shake that ass to. And I mean, Ghanaian
Okay.
girls
Ghana
have
women
the-
have ass. Yeah.
I do like shaking my ass.
I'm gonna have to close my eyes for this and say they've got that sweet ass that like you see in your dreams at night. That kind of
Do you
ass.
I
miss
do
it?
imagine
Yeah,
Ghanaian
I
asses
miss
in my dreams.
Yeah, exactly. So
China, not so much ass.
no,
No.
not so much. That's a compliment. They've got no. I think they've got like sometimes they've got like concave asses, like, like it curves inside. Like
I mean, when Will arrived, he brought 90% of the China's ass.
no, it's that's actually quite depressing because you grew up watching all these asses and you come to China and nothing. There's no ass.
So you haven't really answered my question. Where should someone go?
So if you're someone that really likes to party, you should stay in the capital. 'Cause
Okay,
all
just
the
go to a bunch of bars and-
Accra.
bars, clubs, because of the huge Western influence. There's a whole lot of bars and clubs that you'd really have fun in.
Yeah.
Do you
But
have
if-
Americans owning bars in Ghana? Is it like an expat community?
Expat. Is there anything like that?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is, but it's not like they are very few, but there is quite a number of them where a lot of white people go there and not a lot of black people.
Oh, so it's like a tourist area.
Exactly.
Like expats
Something
or
like
tourists.
So like a typical white boy like me strolls into Ghana. Am I gonna have a
you,
great
you,
time?
you shouldn't go. They're gonna rob you and rape you.
Rob and rape.
Yeah.
Just you. Any other white person.
See you later, Spencer.
No. But I mean, they are, because I know a lot
Had
of
a great. I went to Ghana and all I got was this lousy raping.
lousy. I don't think so.
It's gonna be professional.
It's like
Right,
that. Yeah,
Ghanaians,
because I mean,
professional rapists.
no, they really are.
The seriousness on your eyes. Okay, so if we don't want bars,
So wait, I'm gonna get treated that way because I'm like such a pacifist, like hippie retard, or what?
No.
All of the above.
I mean, they don't really. I mean, if anybody's gonna rob you, rob you, they don't.
Do you
they
want
don't
to
really,
rape me?
They don't really discriminate.
That's why he agreed to
They're
come
gonna
over.
rob you whether you're white or black. They're just gonna rob you.
Okay. So it's
what
a common
if I
problem.
put on like what if I got a bunch of like fake tattoos and like got bulked up? Would I
They're
be
gonna
good?
rob you more.
Harder.
Like they're gonna rob you now and then wait 30 minutes later and come and rob you again.
After I go to the ATM.
Yeah. Shit, I got no money. I better go to the ATM.
Yeah, they're gonna rob you again.
Going to the
Can I buy
ATM now.
another
Over there.
Sure hope nobody rapes and robs me.
I got the I'm with stupid t-shirt on.
Okay. Do you have natural landmarks or anything like
Yeah,
that? Or
we
like,
have a lot of them. We
That
have
was a hard left.
sorry, no. We've gone back to the question. We haven't turned
we've
away.
got a lot of we've got some parks, natural reserves where you can go, and then there's this natural bridge, so high up in the sky. I've never been on it because I'm a pussy. Yeah, because once you're walking, it starts shaking and swinging.
Yeah, it's
and
high, right?
You can't even see the bottom because it's like pitch
So
black
deep.
and
So this is like in a canyon or something.
yeah,
or-
something like that, but it's like, a tall place and then there's just grasslands below it, and I don't have the guts to do that. So I've never been on it, but people go and, it's, as you're walking, it's swinging and it's scary as hell. I don't know why you would put yourself through that.
Dude.
And they're like, we have castles built by the Portuguese, the English, the Dutch.
So you've got a
Yeah.
lot of Western influence
Yeah.
stuff surrounding you.
Yeah,
They're still
But how much
nice
of-
buildings you can go
Yeah.
and visit and stuff.
How much
nice.
Not well, nice. I mean, like they're
Old.
built. They're not like
Yeah.
Chinese.
Yeah.
So they're still there.
And everything,
the-
you can go see them.
in this is totally off the top. I don't even
Yeah.
know if it's true, but in the 1700s, 1800s, there was like that land grab in Africa. All the Western
was,
countries
yeah.
just taking what they could get. The
I mean,
the
I
Spanish,
don't know.
the French, the English,
I don't know
etc.
how much of this is true, but I heard that they brought stuff they've never seen before, like a mirror. Like, so they bring a mirror and then like you can see yourself in this mirror, and you're like, oh damn, I can see myself. You know what? I've got a whole lot of gold back here. Just take it and go. 'Cause
Just for the mirror.
yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, like
that's what we were
reflections
told.
wouldn't have been that exciting. Like you had water, right, which has reflection. So like,
I mean, that's
but
what
a mirror.
I was told. I don't.
But my question is like, how much of through all of that land grabbing and colonialism, imperialism, how much has the Ghanaian culture been intact? What,
Okay, a lot
what
of
do,
it.
is it like thousands of years old? Is it? I mean, obviously it's millions of years old, but
But yeah, no, not million, because what I learned in school is like people migrated from different regions and came. That's why there's a whole lot of diversity, because people came from totally
in all of
different-
Africa, right?
Yeah,
it's just,
I
it's
heard,
just
but-
a bunch of people that don't get along.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Which
people
is
came
everywhere in the
together
world.
and they
Nobody
made a
in the world gets
country,
along.
and because totally different food, different language, different clothing, different everything. Yeah, I mean even in the northern part of Ghana, people
because I
don't
mean,
really
you said like
respect the
40
people.
languages, so that
Like a whole lot of them.
so that's
So there's a
at
lot of-
least 20 different cultures, right? Like
A lot of them.
Yeah.
There's a
Do
lot
you
of
have-
different idiosyncrasies going on in such a small region that
That's the thing.
people build up a wall like I'm from here, so I'm this way type
Yeah,
thinking.
They do. And then
this is blah 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 province, so here we eat blah blah blah.
yeah. And then we've got some regions that are really proud. Like, they're much more proud than other regions.
It's like the South in America, New York.
Something like that.
I'm
you
from
know.
New
And
York.
it's also
I'm
the like,
walking here.
like the central but a bit southern part
They're
of
always walking.
Ghana, and they tend to be a bit proud. Like
They look down on other places in
for
Ghana.
example, the northern parts of Ghana, they suffer the most because almost every single region looks down on them. Like, yeah, you're from the north.
The north
of
is
Ghana.
the north is the bad part.
Yeah.
So like
The north is the south in
England,
America.
In England, the north is the bad part as well. Like, oh, you're from the north. Anywhere
Ah,
north
no.
anywhere north of London, people are like,
It's exactly the opposite. There's a river in the middle of the UK. Anyone south of that river gets looked down on by the north. Anyone north of that river gets looked down on from the south.
Send my girl.
So they're all West Africans, right?
Yep, but
Do you have stereotypes within your own country?
a lot.
Yeah.
So like, you're from the south or north?
I'm from like the
Middle.
middle.
So like
the west.
middle Ghanaians, are they like, oh, all the fatties are up north, or all the hot chicks are down
so
south?
fat up
or-
there.
It's like the people from the north are looked down on, and I don't really know why. Because there's not much opportunities to like get rich up in the north. They all migrate down south.
So all the money's down south.
Yeah, and all the money is down, especially in the capital.
Accra is on the coast.
Yeah, it's down. It's on the coast. All the most beautiful beaches are in Accra. So it's like most of the opportunities are there. So you tend to want to go there to make money, and
That's where people migrate.
yeah, so when you get there, they're gonna look down on you because they don't really think, you're worth coming down here. They're gonna insult you anyhow, any way they want, because they feel like they've got the upper hand on you.
So when you say you're going back to Ghana, when?
A
few months or a year?
So
you'll be going back home soon. Is there anything that you're like thinking about? Like I gotta like get back into my Ghana mode, or you're just you and it's whatever. You can handle yourself because you're from there.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Yeah.
I think I can handle myself. Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, I really think.
Whereas if I went there, I'd be like thinking, oh God, what do I
you
do
really
here?
have to think that. Oh God, what am I gonna do? These people are gonna rape me. And
I better get my
going on.
Need to get.
I'm just kidding.
I
I'm
need, to
just
get, need to get my chastity belt sized up again.
exactly. No, but if I go back to Ghana, I'm gonna have to be careful because I've been in China for like 4 years.
You've let your guard down, or
A whole
do you
lot.
need a guard in Ghana?
I really do. I do, because even in broad daylight, people are looking to.
You gotta
rob
be on
you.
your toes.
Yeah, you've got to be alert at every single time. Like, what is going on around you? Who is around you? What's
And that's
going on?
that's
and-
like a good life lesson.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No matter where you are, if you get your head on a swivel, like you know what's happening around you, that's just inherently good for your situation.
Exactly, and you need that in Ghana.
And that's something
really
that it can teach you about traveling to different parts of the world. If you've got a guard built up, don't trust motherfuckers.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Do
But
they,
it
have
doesn't.
guns, do they have guns in Ghana?
Unfortunately, we do a lot
Yeah,
of them.
a lot of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's
Legal,
why
illegal?
it's really like I mean, it's if you've registered the gun
For
it's
hunting?
okay.
Hunting,
For
right?
there's not a lot of hunting in
Not a
Ghana.
lot of hunting.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
just for protection and stuff.
Oh,
And
wow. Okay.
unfortunately, we've got a whole lot of corrupt police officials. So they just sell these guns to, civilians, and then they just turn and rob people with these guns and everything. So that's how come the safety in Ghana is not, nowhere is as safe as China, though. But yeah,
So safe.
Wow, North Korea is pretty safe too. I hear. I hear no crime happens in North Korea.
yeah,
my
that's the
God.
thing. So going back home, I have to really change my mindset. Because I've spent almost every single night in China wasted walking around insulting random Chinese, kissing random strangers on the cheeks and hugging them like, yo, that kind of thing.
Your time in China and my time in China are not quite as similar.
No, like
Kissing
for real.
random people,
we gotta
insulting
hang out.
anyone.
No,
Or
I
do we-
have really in China, I have had the best time just
So fun, right?
Just going
Every
out
day is like
and
a
doing
holiday.
Whatever the hell, like literally, whatever the hell I want to. And I'm a student.
How long have you
Yeah,
been here now?
Yeah.
This is my 4th year.
So you've been in China longer than you were ever in the UK, living in the UK. right?
Yeah. And I've had much more fun because I was.
Well, you were 4 to 7. How many sluts did you fuck then? 0.
But here, how many sluts have I fucked now?
Don't. That's the second F word we said all night. My mother told me don't use the F word.
Oh, he said the N word though. How's your mother gonna feel about that?
Yeah, I'm black, so
Not
yeah.
as bad as the F
She's
word.
black. She's not gonna slide.
The Robin and raping, that's cool. Just don't say fuck.
Sorry, Mom.
Sorry, Mrs. Vigiano.
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 Yeah, no.
Sorry, Mrs. Vigiano.
Yeah, it's okay. She knows. She already knows.
I bet she cooks a mean pesto.
She makes a good.
What's the best home cooked food you've had?
Every Christmas we have lasagna. The best
Traditional
home cooked-
Christmas food.
Yeah, no, ziti. Ziti's really good. She makes a really good pizza, man. Really
What's a
good
ziti?
Pizza. Ziti's like
It's
a
like a baked
bake.
thing, right?
Yeah, it's a
It's a
bake.
pasta
noodle
bake.
And
Oh.
she puts a little broccoli and meat. So
that
nice
sounds
and
amazing.
sausages.
Cheese
It's a
on the
baked
top.
casserole.
Oh, I need some pasta bake.
Oh my God, ziti. Well, if you ever come, man, if you ever come to my home, man.
She's cooking. I'm
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
I'm,
yeah,
I'm
she
on the
cooks-
flight tomorrow.
She loves cooking, man. All right, let's go.
All right, let's go. Let's go, bro.
That'd be
Let's
great.
go.
Mom, we're coming through.
For everyone listening right now, this is we're at Jimmy V's and it's Jimmy V's birthday. He's turned the young age of 18 today. So I'm just gonna say happy birthday on air to Mr. Jimmy V.
Thanks,
Happy
bud.
birthday, James.
Thanks.
Though of course, by the time we upload this will be like 2 years from now. He'll be way older.
No, it's been a good birthday. It's been, 30 is 18. 18 is...
Chinese 30 is 18.
It's been a good couple days. A lot of exciting things happened, and a lot of people came out last night. Spencer decided that it was just a regular band night. Couldn't make it. Couldn't do it.
Nope.
I didn't know.
I didn't want to press you. I
clarified.
haven't
To
told
be
everyone.
fair, yesterday
like
wasn't your
birthday-
birthday.
It was when
After
we
midnight,
went
maybe.
It went into midnight, and I was like, Spencer's gonna. I thought you might have been prepping for today, mentally prepared. Then John showed up, our buddy John, who works with us, and it was like, "What were you doing?" He's like, "Playing video games." Spencer. Spencer's just
I was though.
Just playing
I
it
was
out.
though. I'm mentally prepared.
Madden.
I had to work
figured.
early this morning.
I didn't want to pressure anybody.
It's all right. It's all right.
You know I'm with you.
Yeah.
We-
Spiritually.
I mean, literally, we live in the same house. so.
In the same spot.
Nice house, I should say.
We got lucky, man. Like
Yeah.
when we first saw the place, we came in at night, and it was like, oh, that's okay. And then we came in the next day, and the natural light in the home, like this, we didn't have this this curtain behind, and the natural light just fills the house, man. And it reminded me exactly of a place I lived on Jacksonville Beach, like just. I don't know. Yeah, we lived like a block from the beach.
It's really nice.
Yeah, thanks.
I mean, minus the stairs, it's
stairs.
awesome.
The stairs.
Yeah, it's the top floor.
It's a fifth floor walk up,
Those
but
two, yeah.
the rent is good and it's big and whatever.
That's what she said.
Hey! Wait, the rent is good. Wait, what? The rent is good. What kind of women are you looking for?
She is a financial advisor.
The rent is good. That's a big dick.
I think all Chinese girls are financial advisors.
She studied economics, so yeah.
Studying to be.
Yeah. So.
Okay, Will, my final question.
Okay.
If you could steal a landmark from any country and put it in Ghana, what would you take? And
The
why?
Eiffel Tower.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Why?
Because it's in Paris and it's the symbol of romance. Even though that's not
The
true,
Eiffel
'cause-
Tower is not the symbol of romance.
I mean-
Paris might be, but
Yeah, I mean, the Eiffel Tower is in Paris, and Parisians are fucking bastards.
the
but-
worst.
Yeah,
The worst.
yeah, but I mean, I would take the Eiffel Tower and put it in Ghana and
Would you put it in your hometown or in the capital?
in the capital.
How much would that change Ghana? Would people start?
The Ghana, the
Would
romance
people
capital.
stop raping and start romancing?
Probably, you know.
Give you a flower before they fucking rape you. Romance isn't
There you
dead.
go. Now fucking take off your pants. yeah, probably. Yeah, you know.
That's my
the
first
Eiffel
date.
That's my move on my first date. Here you go. Now take off your pants.
Here's an Eiffel Tower. First date person.
Spencer.
I have to be honest, and this might be because I'm British. I don't know, but I hate the Eiffel Tower.
Why?
It's so ugly.
Because it's French.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know
I
if I'm
think so.
jaded. I don't know if I'm jaded by my Britishness over the French. I don't know. I don't hate the French. I just don't like Paris.
Yes, you do.
I want
A
to
hate
jaded
Paris. I hate
Britishman.
Paris.
Shocking news. Call
The Eiffel Tower just looks like one of those power things. That we call them pylons. It just looks like one of those.
It really does.
It's generating love.
Pumping it out.
It's nothing compared to Big Ben.
Not
Nothing.
hydro-powered
Big Ben's a
love.
fucking clock, bro. I wear a watch.
But Eiffel Tower has no purpose, though. At least the Big Ben has a purpose.
And
What purpose does the Mona Lisa serve?
It's beautiful. Well, it's not
it's
beautiful.
not.
It's not beautiful.
I
No,
think
you're right. You're right. It's not beautiful. It's ugly.
Couldn't
But,
even smile,
but
bitch.
it's art. It's art.
Go on.
I would not say the Eiffel Tower is art in any
No,
way.
it's not
It looks
art.
like construction work. That's what it looks
I
like.
mean, I don't really get the whole fuss about the Mona Lisa. I mean, it's
It's tiny as well. Have you seen it in person?
No.
It's literally this like A4 size paper.
and I think it's
Worst
it-
selfie ever.
it's an ugly painting. Like, have you seen?
No
Yeah.
duck lips.
No duck lips.
it's
She,
really
is she
ugly.
smiling? Is she not? I don't get it.
She's not. She's
No.
I-
Mona and Lisa? Pick a name. You don't
I,
need
mean,
to.
I think she's just horny and nobody came
That's
around.
what you
so
think
she's
about
just-
most women, though.
Yeah, I do though. I mean, and it mostly works out for me quite well, you know. I just assume she's horny and hello, she is.
Mona.
Yep, they are quite the moaners, if you know what I mean.
Yes. Yes. I know what you mean. But yeah, I don't know if my opinion of the Eiffel Tower / But Paris is. Have you been to Paris?
Negative.
Have you?
No,
Of
I've
course,
not.
if you.
No, we-
I
of
don't
course
know.
we
I
haven't
don't know.
been
why I
to-
looked to you. I'm sorry.
Dude, I'm cultural as fuck.
Yeah, Paris is everything terrible you'll ever find about a capital city.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to go there for Christmas one day. I think it'd be
It depends how much money you have, I think.
Maybe.
If you got like
mean,
a
I didn't go
private
as-
tour of something or
I
like
went as a
few new
student
people.
twice, so I don't know.
I
It
have a
would be
French
different.
friend. He told me he went with his family. He married a Chinese woman, and brought her and her family to, and he hired
Game over.
bodyguards to go through Paris. I was
Really?
like, fuck, dude. Like, you
Right.
hired bodyguards? Get big, bro.
I think I know the guy. The guy is pretty big. I think I know
tall.
the. Yeah,
He's
he's
tall.
he's
No,
tall.
but
He's
why
a
would
nice
you
guy.
hire bodyguards? Is it dangerous or?
I don't know. I never had any issues, but like I said, I was with others. I mean, like Beijing is the only other capital city I really hated for different reasons.
Yeah, I really
Beijing's
hated
got the fucking
Beijing. I loved Shanghai, but I hated Beijing.
Yeah, Shanghai should be the capital if you ask me, because
Yeah,
Shanghai
yeah.
is a nice place
It's
compared to
all-
But
Beijing.
what is a capital?
I mean,
What the fuck is a capital?
It's the government
A
control.
big
dude.
letter? I
It's
don't
the
know.
hard. It's the hard on.
It's the heart and soul of the place.
I'd rather go to the lowercase.
I mean, that's where we live.
Will got it.
But then, to be honest, I mean, have you ever been to Washington D.C. in America? I don't know.
I went when I was a young buck.
How's that?
You know, we had a British friend go to Washington D.C. About 2-3 years ago, and he almost got robbed in the fucking, like in the Capitol. Yeah,
Because it's a lot of crime,
he was
right?
just like, I'm going to go to the cafe. I'm gonna go right.
Washington D.C.
Ba-da-ba-da.
has a high crime rate. I
Yeah.
think.
super high crime, dude.
I think it suffers from not being a state, so it doesn't get a lot of those kind of benefits of being a state and getting a lot of extra police support and stuff like that.
Maybe.
That's what I've heard. I don't know if that's true. I
I
don't.
don't know.
You would think the police are very numerous there.
Right.
Yeah, I would think so. I would assume there's a
They
lot
have
of
high crime.
police.
Like,
There's a lot, dude. My town, Jacksonville, had the highest murder rate in all of America, like 2-3 years
I'm
ago.
so glad you're alive.
Thanks, dude. Me too.
That's what I tell students.
you were in
They're
China
like-
at that point, though, right? So that's.
there's like misconceptions about America. Like everybody that's not from there thinks that everybody's walking down the street with like their hand on their gun, like ready to quick draw.
Oh, really? That's not true?
The carry
Wait,
rate.
that's
The
wrong?
carry rate in my city, in Jacksonville, was 1/3, bro. The carry rate is 1/3. So you got a teenager, a grandma, and a middle-aged hooker, and and one of them is carrying, and
It's always
Definitely
the
the hooker.
hooker.
Yeah,
Definitely the
definitely
hooker.
the hooker. I love
grandma,
hookers.
no, grandma. They asked grandma, like, "Are you scared driving around alone?" She's like, "No, I got my 45." That's a hand cannon. That's ridiculous.
The last American who I really spoke to about guns was a open carry like fanatic who actually told me she didn't feel safe living in China, which was ridiculous.
Well, there's safety in
Because
different.
she open carries, yeah,
Fuck that shit.
yeah, right.
She open carries.
in Detroit. She's from Detroit.
Okay, then I
famously
understand.
unsafe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I mean,
that's
even I know Detroit.
Even
is
That's the thing about America. Whether it doesn't depend on your stance on guns, it depends on what you feel is right for you. Like if you're scared in America, get a fucking gun. If you want a gun, get a gun. And if somebody's opening fire nearby you, you can blow them away if you don't get blown away first.
You definitely get blown away first.
Right. It's always conjecture.
I mean, if I lived there, I would have bought a gun. Yeah, for sure. If I would have stayed there,
I
just
have
would
guns.
you-
I have guns in America.
Would you carry?
I've
like,
never
for sure, bro.
Concealed or open or I don't know the difference. I know the difference. but
My
not-
mom is
I
like
know.
a normal, middle-aged white lady, and she packs heat. And you wouldn't think it. Like she looks like a normal
is open
lady.
carry
She's got a fucking
easy or
more
is
than one
concealed
gun.
carry easy? Like
it's a concealed. You can get a concealed weapons license and you just keep it like in your car, on
Your bag or-
Yeah,
pocket
in your,
or whatever.
in your fucking shoe, whatever.
Yeah.
okay, and
It's
that's
concealed.
easy.
It's
Open
like a
carry is
hidden.
Open carry is more
open
difficult.
carry is like you just see that. Well, is it more difficult? I don't
Like
know.
legally, I mean.
I
Like
don't know. That's certain states, I think, because each state.
It depends
itself.
state-wise. Yeah,
Yeah,
every
Texas,
state has
bro.
different rules.
Texas, you rock up.
Yeah,
it's like
it's
Western,
Texas, yeah.
In a lot of parts of America, you can walk around with a fucking AR-15.
Dude, in
Just
Florida-
I mean,
on the
I've
street.
seen there was a popular video recently on YouTube where there were a couple of guys wearing fucking balaclavas with rifles, like machine gun rifle looking things, and they walked into a police station. Like, they're not holding the guns; they're just like over their
They're
shoulder.
just like testing the laws.
Yeah, they were
type
just seeing,
people.
are these fascists going to arrest us? Of course they did. You walked in with balaclavas and guns. Of course they fucking arrested you.
That was stupid.
But in Ghana, there's not people walking around with guns, or there is or isn't.
I mean, armed robbers do, but
They're thieves.
but civilians don't.
Okay, so-
guns aren't really common amongst Ghanaians.
If you see them, you think, fuck, I got to get out of here. That
Like,
guy's
if you
got a
see a
gun.
gun, you run. If
Yeah.
you're smart, you run. If you're stupid, you just stay there and marvel at the gun. But if you're smart, you run.
Okay.
Far away from the gun.
It's the best self-defense class ever. Just
oh yeah,
run.
I mean, I've been mugged before, and I fucking run. I mean, I got hit in the face a couple of times, but it's okay. I survived. So
And like you said, you're a skinny guy. So
yeah. So I mean, yeah.
We shouldn't hit this guy too hard.
Yeah.
he's skinny. We'll just give him a couple of taps.
Yeah, a few knocks on the head, and like, ow, ow, I'm out of there. Yeah.
So, if you were the president of Ghana tomorrow, what's a new law you'd implement?
Hookers should be free.
Free, not legal. Free.
Is prostitution legal already?
No.
It's not.
Legal anywhere.
So illegal but free.
Yeah, I mean, no, but I mean,
All prostitution
Could
be
you
free.
imagine the-
But if you're a prostitute, we're gonna arrest you.
no, but I mean, if
Don't
I was,
get caught.
If I was the president, I mean, I would think
So
about.
that's what you'd be running on. You'd be wanting all the
Sex for
the
free.
prostitute lovers to vote for you.
Of course, because I mean, there are probably
There's
a
a lot.
of them.
That's
everybody. No, but I mean, I would probably I would look at China's example as to how policemen don't have guns, and so there's not a lot of crime in Ghana. I mean, in China. Yeah. So I think in Ghana only there's a lot of crime because the policemen are the ones that would sell the guns to these people. So if they don't have guns, they can't sell guns.
Oh wow!
I kind of understand that. Like, I mean, in the UK, we obviously have a lot of crime, but we don't have the police don't have guns because guns are
Illegal, right?
like special weapons and tactics. SWAT
Oh yeah, obviously,
exists.
yeah.
If someone has a gun and they're shooting someone in a bank, then the special police will turn up.
SWAT,
But just normal police, no. Like the best you'll get is like an extending truncheon or like possibly
I
a
think I've seen those in a
taser.
couple of UK CVs, you know.
Yeah, like they
But they
they
look
literally just
silly.
whip them out. It's like a metal
So sick,
baton.
bro.
Whoosh,
Yeah.
and then pa pa pa.
Yeah, bro.
And
No
it
doubt.
doesn't kill you, but it
It'll
hurts.
fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
It could kill you, dude. Man. It's got that
It depends
metal,
where you
it's
hit
that
them, I
metal
guess.
rock on the end too, man. You could hit someone, you could break their skull, bro. You could fucking kill someone.
But I mean, what they don't. They're taught always to go for legs and like
your
there's
back and stuff.
another video I saw recently. there's this woman filming a guy trying to break into her house while she's in the house. So she's upstairs filming this guy. She's already called the police. She's filming this guy who's trying to break open a window so he can get in. And then the Scottish police, because it's in Scotland, turn up, and the first person just goes right for the back of the knee, and just drops this guy like a flower. He just crumpled like a flower, and then four of them just jump on top of him, and they're like screaming at him, putting him in handcuffs and whatever. But they're always taught go for lower bodies, or they're never gonna go for the head.
Ghanaian police wouldn't. They'll go straight for the head.
Of course, well, I mean, if the thief has a gun, I'm gonna go for the head too.
They go for the head.
Yeah.
I like head. Sorry. Fuck. We're good. But no, like in Texas, right? So if you have someone rob a bank, man, you're gonna get dropped by all the bystanders or all the people.
Everyone around you gets shooting first. Right?
Yeah, that's quite scary.
There's a lot of, I mean, as Americans, do you ever find that state laws prohibit the evolution of a country? Do you ever think, because like
No,
a lot of
states'
countries
rights
have,
are very important, actually.
yeah?
Yeah.
But do you ever find like some states take liberties, like where they have ridiculous laws, or some states are like behind other states?
Definitely. There's states with different laws that I would or would not agree with, but it's their majority rule. You know, if people vote in something to be a law, then I'll respect it. Like in Colorado, they were one of the first states to legalize marijuana, and they started a quote unquote revolution, whereas people can see, oh, this is just a plant and it can make money and it's kind of makes sense. And then there's other situations where you see that maybe they vote in a law that you don't agree with, but you have to respect their
Why do
their
you think
majority rule.
But why do you think as a country their state majority isn't a majority? Would you not say that a country's idea is
one of the founding notions of being American is states' rights?
Well,
and
that's
it's
my
like-
point. That's my point. Like I understand completely the freedom of states' rights, but that's why I say, do you not think the evolution of a country should have more federal and national say?
It's hard to say because like the federal government could clamp down and that's the exact situation with marijuana. Like, you got Trump and his cronies saying that like marijuana is illegal across the board, and we're going to prosecute anyone that's using marijuana despite the rules of their state.
Of the state that says they can.
But
right?
when
Yeah.
the state people get pissed off, that's when the government backs down. They're like, oh, this state's really pissed off. We're not gonna interfere with
This
their
state can
laws
do it.
because that's in that's in the Constitution. That's in the written history of our country. That if you fuck with the states, people will get angry.
Okay.
And it's the majority. It's like majority rules, you know.
Yeah.
So it's a gray area, like a lot of things. Like, of course, some people in Colorado, they don't agree with the marijuana legalization, but you know, sorry, you're in the minority.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with what you've said, but I don't know if it helps.
But you're talking about the evolution of a country.
Yeah.
A country is an amalgamation of people.
Definitely.
And people are always going to disagree with each other.
But that's why you need to take a majority of a country in general, not just a state, a particular region of people.
Right, and it depends on the issue, right?
Yeah.
If we're talking about weed, if we're talking about guns, if we're talking about marriage,
Hookers.
whatever the problem
Hookers.
is, people are going to have different ideas about everything. So it's America's like that in that it's like it's sort of this fucked up, crazy utopia where it's
Crazy.
what?
dystopia.
You know
Yeah,
what
dystopia
America
with-
is, man? Like the good is way better, but the bad is way worse. Like I feel like that's the balance of America.
Would you say Ghana has a similar feeling? The people in different provinces or
How
areas.
much of a voice do Ghanaians have with their government?
Not
Your president right now is
Akufo-Addo.
and Akufu. What do you feel about Akufu?
I mean, I think he's too short to be a president.
Yep, I agree.
Physically.
Yeah, that's how you vote.
yeah, but I mean, that's what I think.
So
but-
by that logic, you will be the president tomorrow.
exactly. No,
Tall,
but
skinny
I
Will.
mean, you see how America has states have voices and everything. It's not the same in.
It comes down to a spatial thing. Like Ghana's a little country.
Yes,
Right?
relatively,
A
yeah.
cute little country.
Yep.
America's a big fucking
Exactly,
retarded idiot
so-
country full of people that don't agree with each other. It's
Yeah.
like, what are you going to do?
Right.
What
Exactly.
are you going to do?
What do you got?
yeah, no, but the president, if he says something, it's gonna apply to the whole country. Like individual regions don't have that
Right.
much say on what goes on.
Like in
inside.
China, there's no red tape, there's no bureaucracy. Law is law.
Exactly.
And
It's the
I
same
love
in
that
Ghana.
about China. It's like, okay, don't do this,
But
or
I
you're
would
going
say-
to the jail
no, but
forever.
That's
But in
most of the
America,
world. That's most of the world, though. That's not like a unique thing to China. Like UK,
no,
Europe is all the same.
Yeah, if the government says something,
Like-
you
But
there's,
do what
there's,
the government
there's,
laws.
there's
says.
loopholes.
Like
and
no,
people find holes in the law.
Like this is an American thing. Like Rome doesn't get special treatment than other
Like
Italian
Milan,
countries. Yeah,
Torino,
like
they don't
Italian
get-
law is Italian law. Like Parisians
but
have the
look at
same law as
that's
anyone
back-
else.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
It's
France.
back to the spatial thing. Smaller versus huge.
China's huge. Russia's huge. Russia has national law. They don't have province
China
laws.
is not democratic.
Russia is the biggest country in the world. and
Russia's
they-
not democratic.
No, not at all. But that doesn't mean that they don't
Democratic
have.
means people have a voice.
Yeah.
Whether or not that voice is big or small, they still have a voice. People in China have a voice, but it's going to be squashed quickly.
No,
But
no.
then-
People
then
in
you have
China
to
don't
argue-
have a voice. They really don't.
They do and they don't.
They just can't use it.
Literally, they
You
have
can say
a
what you
voice.
want at home.
They have
you
many
can't
voices.
publicly say anything.
They like
but
to
like
talk
arbitrary states, like that doesn't mean anything. Like you're a Texan because these lines were drawn on a map, so you're a
Right,
Texan.
but at
you
that
know what the
point, what
beautiful
is
thing is, though?
Africa? Africa is lines drawn on a map from fucking idiot
no,
Westerners.
that's exactly
Right,
my
right.
point. That's exactly my point. That lines don't define your voice, right?
right.
in
Lines
Texas,
don't
though.
define your voice.
But you'll find most people in New York think the same because they've been brought up that way, and most people in Texas think the same. No, but like wherever you are, your location, you will generally feel the same as anyone around you. That's why you have states in America that are generally red or generally blue states, right? Democratic or
Well,
Republican.
Florida's about half and half, man.
Okay, there are some exceptions, of course. There are some
of course,
exceptions.
there's a
Swing
lot of
states,
exceptions.
yeah.
That's where.
But
that's
you'll
what-
have like Texas is generally a gun-loving state,
Red
right?
state.
Yep.
Whereas you're not going to get many people in Texas that think having a gun is a bad idea, right?
Yeah, they-
And that's because they've been brought up within that way. That's why you won't find many Muslim people born
But
in the
that's-
U.S.
that's just
from
the-
a Christian family.
That's just
because
the-
that's how they were raised, so that's how they're going to be. That's just how life is.
But America's a young country, and that's just our current state of affairs. State of affairs is a big
Yeah.
phrase that
My-
kind of qualifies as
my
like
issue,
a.
my point is that wherever
Issue.
I was going to say issue, but it's not a problem I have. It's just wherever you are, that's definitely going to influence how you think.
For sure.
100%.
Nature, nurture. I mean, a lot of it's nurture.
Yeah. So like if you are born in this place, you're going to think states' rights are important. Whereas if you're born somewhere else, you're going to look at states' rights and go, that's
That's where I
that's
like.
nice
I'm,
and special for you, but it's
I'm
not
a-
that important.
What the internet these days would classify as like a lefty, but I also think a lot of things are right wing. Like I think states' rights are important, but I also think a lot of left wing ideologies are important. But I'm not gonna get cornered into a box where people think, oh, you're from here, so you think this way. That's identity politics, and identity politics are destroying
Again,
a
that's
lot
an,
of things.
That's an
It's-
issue with
it's like,
America because you
you're
have a
from
black and white politics.
You're from Texas, so you think this way.
Yeah.
That's not right.
Okay, but
Even
then
if the
again-
majority says that you think that way, you're still an individual.
The thing is, I don't really agree with how each state in America has its own set of laws and values and Yeah, I really don't agree with it because, I mean, think about it because, I mean...
But think about how many Ghanaian cultures are different. Like, you're from the south or north, like...
But they have to
you're
follow
still
the same
Ghanaian.
laws.
You're still Ghanaian,
Yeah,
right?
we are,
Or are you
but
gonna
then-
say fuck those Northerners because they're?
They do say fuck those Northerners.
Yeah, we
but-
do too.
But then again, there are certain laws you are gonna have to follow them,
Yeah.
whether you like them or not. Personally,
But
I think
you don't like the fact that you can put something into law that your region thinks is good.
Not really, because I mean, think about it this way. Because I mean, personally, I feel Americans really feel entitled. Like from different states, they really feel like,
They're owed something.
yeah, you have to do this for me because I'm from this part of America.
That's
wood.
that's
That's real wood. Don't hit that.
yeah, like they really feel like, okay, so
we've
I am
gotten into the fist pounding section.
and it really hurts. Like, how do people pound their fist on table when they're making points?
You're a skinny
Hey,
guy. You
maybe-
made it hard,
hey,
like not so hard.
Maybe we should make a law against fist pounding in this region. Unless you think everybody should fist pound the same way.
Yeah, I think so.
In this whole country.
But, like, I really feel like, this whole, like, America has too many different states, and each state gets to have its own laws. Like,
But
guns.
it's not as like defined as you think it is. It's all bureaucracy. It's all red tape. It's not like something happens and then it happens. It takes
states,
years.
How many states have the death penalty?
I think a couple, 2 or 3.
I think it's more than that.
I thought it was more than that
more than
personally,
that.
but I don't
I
know.
think it's 2 or 3. Google it, someone.
Okay. Okay.
No.
But the death penalty is a big difference between states. Sorry, a big difference between states,
death
right?
penalty?
Dying because you did something
Does
is it?
Ghana have a death penalty?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
If only
He's
the
never been
different-
caught, so he wouldn't know.
Yeah, I mean, of all the robberies and murders I've done, I've never been sentenced. To
He ran away to
penalty.
China. He didn't get
Yeah, so I don't really know, but I don't think so.
But I would say
nobody's ever been
the death
sentenced.
penalty is a big difference between states. Like gun laws are big. Like New York between Texas, the gun laws are very different, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't disagree with the differences.
But that also comes with being such a young, quote unquote, air quotes, country.
does it?
It comes with disagreements.
Disagreements, yeah, but like countries being young and having different laws between the areas is not a special thing. Like that, no, it's a unique. So I mean, it is a unique thing to America. Like when the UK was founded as the UK, or even if you want to talk as England as a country,
But I think
was never the same.
But is giving people a voice a bad thing?
But giving
No,
people a
really.
voice isn't the
But
same.
then-
It doesn't matter who they are or what they
Exactly.
believe. It's their voice.
But then again, I genuinely believe people are stupid.
Well,
If
yes.
you really let
Of
people
course,
make
look
their
at the,
own, yeah,
look,
if you really make,
it's 2018. Look at
yeah,
the world. Of
if
course,
you,
people are stupid.
If you let people make their own decisions,
People still have a voice in other countries. It's just that we take the overall voice of the whole country and not split the country into segments.
But then again, it comes to the how big is your country?
Admittedly,
Look at
America
Russia.
is
Look at Russia.
But Russia has the
Look at
same
America.
law of,
Look at
as
England.
everywhere.
yeah, America doesn't
It's
really
different.
have these whole
It's totally
state
different.
laws and like provincial or regional.
Russia is the same for
Russia
everywhere
just
it
has,
is,
you know-
which is basically
But
anything
then again-
goes.
But is that
Russian-
good? Is that good that the Russian people don't have a fucking voice?
No, but then Russians are all the same. They're all bloody racists and.
So they're all the same because there's no idiosyncrasies between the regions.
No. Like it's a different issue because Russia isn't democratic. But it's not. It's not saying that
So
Russia.
democracy is cool.
ish.
Obviously, I agree with democracy. Obviously, I'm not fighting
ish.
against
I mean, look
democracy.
at China. They don't really do this whole democracy bullshit, but look at them. They are flourishing.
But when you went to
Under
you
the
were in
guise-
Beijing, you were in Beijing. Did you feel the government presence in Beijing? Did you
Yeah.
feel it strong?
I really didn't. Like, I mean, in
didn't?
Beijing, I mean, I was robbed in Beijing. Ish.
By the government.
No, not by the
that's not
government.
true.
Like,
That's
you
not
know,
true.
just random individuals. They're like, hey. I mean, they confuse me. They're like, you look so handsome. You could be a model. And then all my defense.
Nah, give me your money.
And then all my defenses, they're like, damn, they said I look like a model. So you know what? I trust these people because I mean, they didn't rob me of much, but then they still robbed me.
Really?
Yeah, they robbed me. Like they're like,
Did they take you to a tea house?
Oh
Yeah.
my God!
This is
You're
a
tea
very
house,
famous.
huh?
This is a very famous
They
Beijing
took me
story.
to a tea house.
So let me explain this to anyone listening. If you ever come to China, and especially if you're going to Beijing, you're gonna get women coming up to you and saying, "Hello, how are you?" Like there'll be a semi-attractive to attractive women,
And they have wonderful English.
and yeah, their English will be good, and they will ask you if you want to go to drink tea.
I went with them and then I lost all my money.
Yeah, and this tea will either be ridiculously priced, or there'll be a muscular guy there
And you know what? The
waiting for
mistake
you.
I made was I assumed they were gonna pay for me, cause
Right?
Yeah, so
That's the culture. That's the culture. They pay for
So
you.
I-
The culture of China is if you invite someone somewhere, you're paying.
yeah, but they didn't
But
pay, and then I
in
ended
this
up paying.
case is-
I mean, I slept on the streets for the last night I was in Beijing.
Really?
Yeah. Like
How much did you pay in this tea house?
And then, like
Like
two- yeah.
2K? 2,000?
2,500 or something.
For like tea.
yeah.
Tea.
Yeah, and then
Just to let you know, you go to restaurants in this city, Yangzhou, where we are right now, it's free. You drink tea for free. They give you
So,
tea
know,
when you
I
arrive.
finished paying 2,500, and I'm like, okay, it's okay. You're an
2,500
idiot,
for
but it's
tea.
okay.
It's okay.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
beautiful. They said I'm handsome.
Yeah, you're
I'm
an idiot, but
in.
it's okay. It's okay.
I'll sleep on the floor, but I'm gonna fuck these girls.
It's so
Jack
weird.
Pasu
Wilberforce.
Wilberforce.
I'm also called Elom, which in my language means God loves me.
ELOM.
ELLOM, 2 L's.
You
O-M.
idiot. There's obviously
Elm.
2 L's there.
Yeah, which means God
If
loves
only
me.
there was like enough people to like vote to like say which
Yeah.
which way to spell it.
I mean, my mom gave me.
if only that perfect like
They have
brand of
democracy.
democracy
They have
existed.
democracy. Like, they have votes.
I mean, yeah.
Anyways, Jack or Will
Jack Pasu.
or
Jack Will.
Jack Pasu
Pasu.
Wilberforce. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, of course.
It was
so
fucking-
much fun.
it was
Yeah,
beautiful.
I really hope
We
I come
love-
again
we
because
love
it was
learning.
so much awesome.
Yeah.
I got to tell a whole lot of shit, and then
Perfect.
Yeah, I want to hear more.
And now
Yeah,
it's
more.
recorded forever.
Yeah,
So.
forever.
And this will be on the internet forever.
I mean,
We're gonna
think
put
about
it into a time capsule that's gonna be
Yeah,
sent
and
to
I
Mars.
said a whole lot of random shit, and it's okay.
And when the people in Mars find this, like 2,000 years later, they're gonna be like, "Well, what about those American gun laws?"
and then I would still
What
be
is
alive
America?
2,000 years later.
They shot themselves.
What is a state?
What's a state? Anyways, thanks for coming by, dude. it was really fun.
Yeah, it was
really appreciate it.
Yeah, I had so much
And it was good
fun.
learning about Ghana. It was good learning about you. It's
Yeah,
good
I mean,
for
I
the
told a whole
listener.
lot of lies about Ghana, but it's
Yeah.
okay.
He's never been to Ghana. He made it all up.
Like I said before,
He's from
nobody's listening.
Zimbabwe.
yeah.
Anyways, it was fun. Let's
Yeah, it
go.
was- it
Let's
was
go
so
have a
much.
drink.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, now that I can do. I can really fuck with.
All right. Cool deal.
All right,
That's a
sweet.
wrap.